Hi everyone, welcome back. In my 20+ year career as a makeup artist, probably the most common question I would get asked would be, how can I perfect my everyday makeup routine? I'm fairly certain that a lot of you watching have struggled to perfect your daily makeup routine. Perhaps you don't want to wear a full face, including contour and 5 eyeshadows and highlighter, but you do want something easy that will make you look polished, more awake, perhaps more professional. So what I want to do for you today is show you or give you 10 tips on how to master your perfect everyday makeup look. Prep properly. A lot of people don't realize how important this step is. And what I mean by prep properly is make sure that you're using the right pre-makeup products. That can be a primer, that can be a moisturizer, that could be multiple primers. But for most of us, we really only need, if we're going to use a primer, we just need one. But most of us do need 2 moisturizers, not to apply at the same time before your makeup, but one to apply during the day before your makeup and one to apply at night before bed. Because my skin is oily yet dehydrated, I like to use a lighter weight lotion during the day under my makeup, and then at night I apply something a little bit heavier like a thicker cream. Lately I've been loving this IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Gel Lotion. It's oil-free, it's for all skin types. It's a plumping, skin transforming, weightless moisturizer with 72-hour hydration. I've found that this lotiony texture that absorbs really quickly into the skin has been beautiful under all of the different foundations I've used it with. Now, if your skin is drier and you feel like you do need to use a thicker cream both morning and night, I would highly suggest waiting just a couple of minutes for that moisturizer to sink in before applying your next products. So now that our faces have been prepped properly, it's time to move on to coverage, finding your perfect foundation. I highly recommend most people have at least 2, even 3 foundations in their collection because our skin has different needs from season to season and often from day to day. I know you all feel me when I say that there have been mornings where I've felt like my skin has looked great and I can get away with just a tinted moisturizer. But then there are other days that my skin is looking not so great, so I want to add a little bit more coverage. So having foundations with 3 different types of coverages is ideal. Even if you think to yourself, I will never wear a full coverage foundation. A full coverage foundation is great to mix in with your tinted moisturizer on those days where you feel like, tinted moisture isn't quite enough, but I definitely don't need full coverage. I personally have really been loving this Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue Moisturizing Makeup. It contains SPF 45. I find it to have really beautiful medium buildable coverage. It looks like skin, and even though I have quite oily skin, I've been pairing it with the Joa Pore Refining Primer, and I think it looks pretty darn good. Tip number 3 is cover with concealer. I have had many people tell me over the years that they don't even use concealer. Even though they have dark circles, they don't like to use concealer because it can make us look older in some instances if you're using the wrong concealer. My current favorite is this one from Dior. I also have a couple of drugstore concealers that I really love. One of them being the Maybelline Superstay, and then I also really like the Milani Conceal and Correct. I think those are both excellent, but my current favorite, as I mentioned, is this one from Dior. It covers, but it looks really natural. It lasts all day. There definitely is a lot of trial and error when it comes to concealers. Once you've gotten that perfect concealer nailed down, you will be feeling so much better about your overall look because let's face it, concealer is a huge part of making us look more awake and more polished because you're getting rid of maybe some redness in the skin or those pesky dark circles. Tip number 4 is do not neglect your brows. Many people will tell me that they don't bother doing anything with their brows. There are people out there that do have perfect eyebrows that need nothing but a little maybe slick of brow setting gel, but some of us are not that blessed. And brows, I'm sure you've heard this before, are the frame of the face. Now in my case, my brows need a lot of help. So even for my everyday look, I like to pencil them in just a little bit and then use a fiber brow gel to really build them up, fluff them up, make them look a little bit wider. I don't really like the real thin brow look, especially for those of us over 40. A thinner brow can definitely be more aging, so you want to fluff them up. And for those of you that have really nice brows already and don't need a lot of filling in, but perhaps you feel like they're too thin and you do want them to look a little bit more bushy, shall we say, a fiber brow gel might be all you need. Tip number 5 is find and use multi-use products. I personally love to use bronzer like this one from Too Faced as my transition shade when I'm working on my eye makeup. It's the perfect tone for really any eye look, whether I'm going to use browns or plums, no matter what look I'm going for. Even if it's a nighttime look, I will often use my bronzer shade in my crease to begin my eyeshadow look, or sometimes I'll use it at the end to blend everything out so there are no harsh lines. Multi-use products are your best friend. Don't shun shimmer. That is my next tip for those of you that are over 40 who again have been told that you cannot wear shimmer over a certain age. My mother is in her early 70s and she does have some loose skin on the lid, but I don't hesitate to pop a little bit of shimmer right on the center of her lids. I love to do it on my own lids. Shimmer these days is different than it was 20 years ago. There aren't those really heavy glitter particles, and they tend to be just a lot more smoothing actually, versus, you know, instead of drawing attention to crepiness on the lid, a lot of times they're smoothing and they can bring lightness to the center of the eye and just make your eye color pop. So do not shun shimmer. All right, my next tip is to nail down your liner look. Some of you may have gone for a very long time doing nothing but winged eyeliner. I've been doing it for years, but as time goes on and my eyes change, they become more hooded, they become more downturned, doing a winged liner becomes a little bit more difficult and time consuming. Do I still apply winged liner on occasion? Of course, I still love the look, but on a day-to-day basis, using either a pencil or an eyeshadow as our eyeliner, or sometimes both. I like to use a pencil and then set it with some eyeshadow. That's going to give you a softer yet still defined eye look. Eyeliner is important because it can really bring out our eye color. It can accentuate the shape of our eye. It can uplift our eye. Knowing your eyeliner limitations can actually be very freeing because you're not going to spend that time every morning stressing on what type of look you should do. Should I do a liquid liner? Should I do a powder liner? Now that is fun. Makeup should be fun and experimentation is good. But if you're truly trying to master an everyday look, knowing what eyeliner technique is most flattering to your eye shape is of utmost importance, and I promise you will make your morning makeup routine so much easier. More mascara. Mascara is another product that can really just change your look. It's something that I use every single day. Concealer, brows, mascara, gotta have those. Especially having blonde lashes, mascara is uber important. But again, referring to my lovely mother, her lashes have gotten shorter and more sparse, and I'll tell her, Mom, you need to put on a little bit more mascara. And she'll say, I have it, I have mascara on. No, you need to put on another coat. That's what I'll tell her. Of course you don't want your lashes to look clumpy, but you want to find a mascara that is going to separate and give you volume. And mascara is a difficult one to recommend because we all start with different lashes. Of course, I have sparse blonde lashes. Some of you watching might be lucky enough to still have very full dark lashes, so your needs in a mascara are going to be different from mine. There are so many excellent mascaras on the market of all price points, so just find one that works best for your lashes and use a little bit more than you think. All right, I've just got a couple more quick tips for you. One of them I alluded to a little bit earlier in the video when I was talking about multi-purpose products. Using a cheek product that can also be used on the lips, or using your lipstick as your blush. But I wanted to make using a cream blush its own tip, because I find that cream blush, it's taken me a long time to realize this. I guess just being someone with really oily skin, I've always shied away from cream blush because I just felt like it would make me look more dewy, and I don't want to look more dewy. But now that I'm getting a little bit older, I want to be a little bit more minimalist, and I want to have a little bit more of a glow, I'm really falling in love with cream blushes. Here you can see me applying some of my favorite cream blushes. They are the Cloud Paints from Glossier. They come in a variety of colors, and they just look so natural on the skin. It almost looks like the color is coming from within. A little bit of color on the cheeks is just so flattering and really brings your face back to life. And then finally, what's with all the hate against lip liners? Actually, I think I know where the disdain for lip liners comes from. Those of us that were around in the 90s, maybe we were in our teens in the 90s, and we lived through that really dark lip liner phase with the light center. You know, some people still love that look. Some people still rock that look. I am one of those people that likes a little bit of a more defined line. I know some people hate it, but hey, we have to do what we like, right? I do like my lip liner to be about a half a shade to 1 shade darker than my lipstick. If you don't like lip liner, yet you're struggling with transfer into fine lines along the lips, I highly suggest finding and using a lip liner that is the same color as your natural lip tone. And you don't have to overline. You can fill in your entire lip with a pencil and then maybe put a balm or a lip gloss on top. For my everyday look, I love to use this one from NYX. It's called Nude Suede Shoes. I find this one to be a pretty good dupe for one of my favorite higher end lip liners, Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk. And then I like to pair it with a very natural looking My Lips But Better combo of these two long wearing lip colors from Maybelline. I mix Lover with Loyalist, or sometimes Poet. I will put a little bit of each on the back of my hand, mix it together, and then press it into my lips. And voila, I've achieved a very long wearing, natural looking, pretty lip. All right, I really hope you've all enjoyed seeing my 10 tips for mastering your easy, everyday, perfect makeup look. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to leave them for me in the comments. I try to answer as many as possible. And if you did like this video, I would really appreciate you giving it a thumbs up. If you're not already a member of the Risa Does Makeup family, I would love to have you, and it's super easy to join the fam. You just hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss an upload. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter under the same username, Risa Does Makeup. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon.